Which I understand. Magic Online cards are expensive. They don't want me to tie up a bunch of their stock. On the die roll, I would love to play first here. Yeah, this hand's great. Turn 1 discard spell into turn 2 Dark Confidant, just like everything you want to be doing. We're on the play, so we get to fetch a basic swamp to do that. So this deck actually wouldn't be very good in Modern because of the context of how Modern works versus this format. Also, Swords to Plowshares is way better than Path. Rain of Filth. That's the one they sacrifice swamps to gain extra mana. So, huh. What do I actually want to take here? I think I actually want to take the Gitaxian Probe. Because it makes the Cabal therapy worse. So I could take the Brainstorm, but I really don't want them to take the Dark Confidant out of my deck. Out of my hand, I mean. So I'm going to take the Probe because I don't want them to take my Dark Confidant away. Because, like, they 10 out of 10 just go, like, Probe, Therapy, Dark Confidant next turn, otherwise. I mean, Doomsday can't be a deck without top, right? We could definitely die with this line. Like, the other two cards in their hand are definitely the more powerful ones. Huh. Now I just Wasteland him, right? Or do I play the Bob for a turn and hope they miss? The problem is they get to, like, Brainstorm at end of turn and then possibly kill me next turn. I'm going to cast this and just hope we don't die, I think. I could definitely see merit to just, like, aggressively Wastelanding there, but, like, I want to just, like, if we get Dark Confidant into play, there's a pretty good chance we find another discard spell next turn, and then getting to go Wasteland plus discard spell next turn would be really good for us. We could definitely die this turn just passing back like this, but I think this is, like, the play to win versus play to not lose line. So there goes the Brainstorm. If they find the right mix of stuff, they could definitely kill us here. Yeah, there's a lot of moments in Legacy where you're just, like, crossing your fingers, especially when you're playing a discard spell deck like we are. Like, you can't discard the top of their deck, which includes the top 3 cards on the back of Brainstorm, so, like, a lot could go wrong here. If they've hit, like, you know, Tutor, LED, and another Ritual here, like, we're just dead. That Brainstorm was long, so maybe we're not dead, you know? Don't crack this fetch. No! No! We're gonna die! Don't kill me, opponent. Have a heart. Oh, we're so dead. There's a Dark Ritual. Please just be... God bless you! God bless us, everyone! That's a duress. Oh, baby, don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Alright, Bob's gonna flip a discard spell, and then we're gonna Wasteland him here, and then we're gonna just sprint away with this game. They took the Council Judgment. They're going to play out a Lion's Eye Diamond preemptively here. Yeah, to prevent it from discard. That's smart. Good line by the opponent. Swords to Plowshares. Things that are not fantastic. Alright, well, we didn't draw a discard spell. It's unfortunate. We have 11 of them left in the deck, so we're 10 out of 10 just Wastelanding them here and then attacking. Could still die next turn. Like, they have stuff they could do. The music that's playing in the background is to make it so my videos don't get muted when I'm not talking and my microphone catches the kids' music. Oh, geez, they don't have another land. That's so good for us. Drew and Umezawa is Jitte. Okay, well, I'm just gonna play this Dark Confidant attack. Hopefully these Bobs don't kill us. Wow, a whole lot of nothing going on. Watch this flip like 3-drop, 5-drop. Gideon's actually a great draw. Gideon is a fantastic draw, actually. Emblem, my Gideon. So Gideon's emblem says, as long as you control a planeswalker named Gideon, you cannot lose the game and your opponents cannot win the game. So, emblem. Opponent concedes to the emblem. Okay, sweet. Getting game 1 against Storm is so insane for us because we have so many good cards to bring in out of the board and plenty of things to cut, like Swords to Plowshares and Council's Judgments. Rest in Peace is fine. Thalia is fine. Gaddock Teeg is fine. Cage is great. I don't actually know if the Graveyard Hate is good enough against what they're doing. Oh, Umezawa's Jitte is not fine. So, like, there's a very real possibility, like, they're not a Past in Flames deck. I don't know. They're probably a Past in Flames deck, right? Game 1, Gideon 0 often means win the game, yeah. If they don't have Goblins in their main deck. I don't hate Kaya. She's kind of slow, though. Do I want to leave some Deluge? I feel like I don't want to leave Deluge in. Usually you can just beat Goblins when they go off with it by, like, putting a Batterskull into play. So I think I'm just going to submit like this and see how it goes. Sand is much too slow on the draw. It's got 2 hate cards. Opponent mulligan. I think we're supposed to mulligan this, even though they mulliganed. My wife is an extra pulp kind of person, so that means I'm an extra pulp kind of person. I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand's much better. This hand is great. This hand is very good. Very, very good. Opponent deciding if they want to mulligan. If they go to 5, we're just going to rip them apart. Just going to tear them apart. Someone asked about why no Hymn to Torok in the deck. I don't think Hymn to Torok is particularly well positioned in Legacy right now. It's not an effect that you want against the Reanimator, which is one of the more popular combo decks right now, and it's not an effect that you want against the Delver decks in the format. So I don't think Hymn to Torok is great. Tidehollow Sculler is a 2-mana discard spell that is playable, not only playable, but good against Reanimator, and it, what's the word I'm looking for? It attacks, which is great. Liliana's a good hit. I was greedy and bottomed that land, but I think that's fine. Oh, man. Well, we're going to take this, and I'm just going to surgical this now. This is why surgical's great, for reference. Just like another discard spell. I'm not waiting till their draw step, because if I wait till their draw step, they could draw a Brainstorm and then Brainstorm it away. So, I'm not giving them that opportunity. So I'm pretty sure I want to just play Tidehollow Sculler this turn. If my opponent goes Ritual, Empty the Warrens, I'd actually be in a little bit of trouble, I think. So Prime renewal time before I forget to and lose discard access. Insidium with the resubscription. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Subscriptions are the absolute best way you can help support my content here. Might get punished for bottoming that Horizon Canopy here, but, like, we have Dark Confidant to play next turn, so it's like, whatever. Yep. So their hand is Ritual at this point. We did shift gears to Legacy, Aaron. We 4-1'd the league with Amulet Titan, and then I think I'm playing the Legacy Challenge again this Sunday, so might as well practice some more. Ten out of 10 just playing Bob. Look at that. Disruption and a clock. What more could you want out of life? They don't have any sweepers in their deck. They don't have any massacres. They don't have any pyroclasms, so that's good for us. Yeah, I really like the Bloom deck. I think it feels really good. I might actually go play a Modern tournament next weekend. I haven't decided yet. Man, that was their best draw, huh? Well, I guess I'm just taking all their cards out of their hand, right? We know they have one Cabal Ritual in their hand. So what's their other card? There's Tendrils of Agony. Okay. So, yep, get rid of that. Need some more to drink? So, I can Surgical their other Cabal Ritual out of their hand, but we don't need to do that just yet. I don't have to extract the ritual now. I don't think leaving the ritual in their hand gets me into any kind of trouble. It's only worth 3 mana right now. You want Newton? Yep. Smart, killing Dark Confidant first. They choose which of the two die first. Alright, well, Rest in Peace is a good one, too. So, we're going to Surgical before we Rest in Peace, because otherwise we're not going to have anything to Surgical here, obviously. Oh... Actually, Rest in Peace gives my opponent another thing to... Rest in Peace gives my opponent another thing to destroy with Culling Scale, so I'm probably supposed to wait, right? Yeah, I'm probably supposed to wait. Actually, their only win conditions in their deck are... this one empty and this one tendrils. So if we draw a land here that's untapped... Yeah, you're a little dunster, aren't you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just can't win the game once I take this empty away from them. Are you a good little dino? That's basically what we just said to our opponent was rar. Take away your other win condition... Play this Rest in Peace. The bush? Yeah, man, my Rest in Peace is gone, but so are your win conditions. A bush? We need some Declan Camp? Yeah, sweet, got him. Both their win conditions are gone, so quick 2-0 over Storm to start us off. Hi, Internet. My name is Declan. Who's precious? Declan is 2. He's my youngest. For those of you that are unaware, I'm a father of 2, Jacob and Declan. I would just like to take a moment to say thank you everyone for stopping by the stream here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland, and I am a TCG player and content producer. If you're new here, welcome. I'd encourage you to show a little support by using that follow button there on your screen. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps other people find my work. If you're really enjoying what you see and you want to help support my content extra, you can do so in a couple different ways. The first is by subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. NTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. InkedGaming.com would like to help you customize your gaming experience, custom playmats and mouse pads. MTGCardMarket.com has all of my written content on there. If you're enjoying this Deadguy deck, I actually posted a full primer on mtgcardmarket.com last Friday, so you can check that out, learn about all the different card choices and ways to customize the Deadguy deck for different metagames. And then SpareDeck.com offers kind of a unique service. While they don't do legacy cards, they will rent you any standard or modern legal Magic deck for a weekend or up to a month. And we've got a match here, so let's get back to it. Pretty easy mulligan here. No second land, so let's just play catch and release. This hand is fine. It's not stellar against an unfair deck, but it's fine in a fair matchup. I think I'm okay topping that. Delver, perfect. 10 out of 10 plowing that. We get dazed, We're going to get dazed at some point, right? Yeah, I've got a couple of... I don't have any playmats. I assume they're just like... I don't have any mouse pads. I assume they're just smaller playmats. But I have a couple of their playmats, and they're good quality stuff. I was excited when they offered to sponsor, and then I was more excited when I actually got my hands on their product and got to see it firsthand. Young Pyromancer's annoying. I use Spare Deck for most of my Magic stuff. In fact, even this deck, when I played it at the Open, I Spare Decked most of the modern legal parts of it, which is a lot of it. Okay, Gideon. Just gonna go ahead and use the Stoneforge Mystic here. This Resolve's probably gonna jig it. They're gonna play Burn the Days on this. I wouldn't be surprised if they saved the Days to protect the Pyromancer if they had it. They've also drawn 2 more cards, so they could have just picked it up. They have a Force of Will. Okay, it's unfortunate for us. We have 2 main deck Toxic Deluges, so hopefully we can find one of those. Okay, so this is the more aggressive Delver deck, since it's got Swift Spear in it. Yep. This matchup's probably harder for us. Burn is definitely one of the more challenging matchups for the deck. And this is like a burn deck that can also counter our spells. We have a lot of basics, so we can often fetch around Price of Progress, but... pretty big hit here. Deluge? Deluge? You got like 1 or 2 turns to draw Deluge tops. That's not how to be a professional. Just gonna play this and plus it. Not playing this Dark Confidant out. Basically need to draw Deluge here. We've got 1 more shot. We're taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this turn. If we're lucky, they'll send 4 damage at Liliana the Veil, which will soak some stuff up. We could just get, like, popped here. Getting Fire Blasted Fire Blast is lethal, right? It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Almost lethal. Oh, great. We're attacking the Liliana. God bless. You don't deal damage next turn. Alright. Still just like limping along, hoping to find a copy of Toxic Deluge here. Chain Lightning. I would love to redirect, but I cannot. This goes to 8, and then we take 5, so we're going down to 3 here. Oh, God bless, they're attacking the Gideon. Come on, Deluge. Come on, Deluge. Okay, that's... We're still dead? Probably still dead. Can you get Batterskull? I believe we're still dead. Any spell kills us. Fetch land. Yeah! Called shots. Need help getting the rest of the cheese out? It's stuck. Yeah, there you go. Let's begin sideboarding here. So the discard spells are pretty bad in this matchup. Extra Batterskull is good. Gideon is fine. Council's Judgment is fine as extra removal. I guess the Inquisitions are fine because they don't hurt us. Maybe bring in the Kaya as well. They're basically a burn deck, so Kaya's fine. Like I said, our deck is not well set up for these aggressive burn style decks. We're looking to prey on the more fair Delver decks. The ones that are a little bit more interactive, and then decks like Storm and Sneak and Show. So the problem with Thalia is that we have 14 cards here that cost 3 mana or more. 14 cards. I guarantee you we have more non-creature cards that cost 3 or more than our opponent, which means Thalia is not free for us. We could, in theory, like, cut Ally of Zendikar and Kaya to, like, put in the Thalias, but, like, the Thalias are there for the decks that she always hurts more than us. High Tide, Storm, decks like that. 16, sure. Like, we could cut these, but then, like, we still have 14 cards that cost, or 12 at the very least, even if our Stoneforges are living. So I don't think this is a matchup where you want the Thalia. I would probably play Gaddock Teeg before that even, just because, like, it's a 2-2, and, like, it locks them out of casting Fire Blast and Force of Will. But I don't think that's particularly great either. But I definitely think if there's an argument for wanting more idiots, I want to cut these 2 cards and bring in Gaddock Teeg as opposed to Thalia. Sounds fine. Shambling Vent being tapped's a little slow, but the rest is fine. You have to kill Young Pyromancer. You have to kill their threats. A lot of the time, the game comes down to trading 1 for 1. Sure, Thalia ruins your day in decks like think when you're making that statement, think about the decks that you're playing against where Thalia is ruining your day. You're used to playing against Thalia out of the Death and Taxes deck, right? Where Death and Taxes doesn't have 14 cards that Thalia makes cost more mana. They have like 2 Swords to Plowshares. I think we're just gonna take their Swift Spear here. It's all about context. People get latched onto cards like Thalia, and then they're like, oh, well, this card's generically good against this deck. Well, it's not generically good. It's, like, good in my deck that doesn't have a lot of non-creature spells. Huh. So I think we're going to plow this. I'm not sure what our sequencing wants to be. We know they have the Lightning Bolt, and I wanted them to bolt the Tidehollow Sculler. It makes sense to wait since they can't play the Monastery for this turn anyways. I feel like they're going to force whatever my first play is next turn, so I kind of want to play the Stoneforge Mystic to have that eat a force so I can then plow the Insectile Aberration. What are we doing, child? Do you need more? Do you need another Fig Newton? Need another Newton? Sorry, Strawberry Newtons? We're not Fig Newton fans in this house. We love us some Strawberry Newtons. They're delicious. I'm gonna eat a Newton myself. Opponent is either deep in the tank or their cat spilled something on their keyboard, one of the two. They're little, like, cookies with fruit filling, basically. Newtons, if you're out there, the stream could be sponsored by you. You know, just, like, send me a pallet of them. No, I think Thalia is a better card than, say, Aethersworn Canonist against decks like Storm and Sneak and Show. So, like, Thalia is good against Sneak and Show and Storm, whereas, like, Canonist is only really good against Storm, and Containment Priest is only really good against Sneak and Show. So, like, there's less overlap there. So I think I'm going to lead on the Stoneforge Mystic here. It's less good against the Omni builds rogue when we're playing discard spells. We're brainstorming in response. Huh. Yeah, that's fine, I think. They're trying to see if they're going to have another piece of removal to answer the Stoneforge Mystic, because they don't have a piece of removal to answer the Stoneforge Mystic. They're going to need to force it so they can bolt the Tidehollow Sculler. Just gonna get Batterskull here so they feel obligated to kill this. We already have the Gideon in our hand, so... Oh, I forgot to attack. That was a mistake. Missed some points of damage, unless they kill this anyways. They're not killing that. Alright, well, we messed up. Yeah, I'm just gonna upkeep plow this. This is worse against Spell Pierce, I guess, but if they have Spell Pierce, I'd rather they do it on this than the Gitte, I think? Or the Batterskull, potentially. Okay. They must have another bolt, right? This feels like they have another bolt. Do I want to play these Lingering Souls out? You think I just want to play Souls this turn? We know they have Price of Progress here. So I don't think I want to play this land. If they daze this, they daze this. They're going to daze something at some point this game. I think I would prefer watch this game come down to the 2 points of life that I didn't give them. Or that I missed that attack. Me popping here? Sweet. So they have Force Ponder that we know about. So this Jitte's probably going to get forced. Sure. Probably this into Ponder. Am I okay with burning a Brainstorm? I think I'm okay with making them burn a Brainstorm here. I guess this makes the Jitte less scary. Makes this Brainstorm a bit worse. This might be too aggressive. Or too defensive? Technically defensive. Next turn I can go Bob into Flashback Souls. I think I kind of want to preserve my life total, though. I guess I could hit a fetch land off of this still here, too, and then they don't really lose any value. Too aggressively defensive, right? I don't know what we're doing. Flashback this, because they know about it. Play Dark Confidant. Sure. Yep. Joe's a great guy. I get along with him just fine. I haven't seen him in a while because we haven't been at the same tournaments, but the last time we played together, what was it? I always forget which city that was. Maddie was there. Bamonte was in chat earlier. Alrighty, it looks like we're jumping with this Bob. They know about the Jitte now. We know they have a Force in their hand because they haven't had a chance to shuffle yet. Another one of those. Huh. I think I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Baltimore. Was it Baltimore? Gideon's an okay draw here. I just play this Jitte, right? And force the Force. And then I get to play the Gideon of the Trials. You want another Newton? They're obligated to force this. Pitching Delver. That's pretty good for us. Yep. We have 2 Brutalities in the main deck. That doesn't deal damage next turn. I'm gonna leave this back on defense. No, you're over here, D. You're over here on this screen.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Ow! That was rude, dude. I'm just gonna take one here. That hurts. That's my face. That is your father's face. Do you enjoy hurting your father's face? Ow! Alright, so I think the conservative line... I'm not playing around Daze. They drew Daze or Spell Pierce. They drew Daze or Spell Pierce. Let's just jam the Batterskull. God, my body is ready to get dazed. Ow. God, someone send help! Ah, I'm being attacked! Trigger! Ow! 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 He's a monster. I'm gonna be conservative and plus on one of these for now. I feel like if the Batterskull gets its hit, I'm just gonna be like max conservative here, I think. If this Batterskull gets a hit in, the game is essentially over, I think. So let's just like turtle up here to the maximum of our ability. Alright, didn't get Bolt plus Price of Progress, so things are looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this Council's Judgment pre-combat. Why not Emblem the Gideon? Maybe that's better there? Is that more conservative? Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I am supposed to Emblem there. Playing this pre-combat gives them a chance to trigger Prowess, but it's like, whatever. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're supposed to emblem this. All right, and the game is literally over now. I'm gonna leave this back to block again just in case. The old Bolt Majerm. Yep, deal. Alright, good. Alright, on to game 3. Sand has basic lands, but doesn't have fast interaction, and it's missing one of our colors. Sand's very good with a white source. Top. Sand's very good with a white source. Bet you're on Stifle here. We'll plow this after they trigger it. If Pyromancer here, I might get punished for this. I have Deluge to clean up, technically. Justice with Spear is great for us. Sure. And now they know the Deluge is coming. So, like, Deluge gets worse when they know it's coming. So there's one thing that playing a lot of Legacy Again has taught me, and it's reminded me how much I hate Gitaxian Probe as a Magic card. It removes one of the most interesting aspects from Magic for actual just no reason. It's just like, here, you get to play a 56-card deck, and you get to know what your opponent's doing at every step of the game. Like, enjoy, have fun, this is great design. It's not good design. It's not good design. Thankfully, like, we get to go Bob into Lingering Souls here and just block forever. Yeah, I just, like, it's not even that it's just too powerful. It's like how I kind of feel like how I feel about Blood Moon and Ensnaring Bridge in Modern. Like, sure, they're not too powerful, but, like, they're just kind of obnoxious and don't do anything relevant to the format. They don't do anything constructive to the format. Like, they're just, like, they're there to make Cabal Therapy a less skill-testing card. Opponent chose not to shuffle, so I assume we're dead here. They didn't shuffle the Ponder. Yes, correct. It's banned in Modern, which is why I, you know, it took me playing a bunch of Legacy Again to remember how stupid this card is. Like, at least, like, cards like Inquisition and Thoughtseize, like, you're looking at their hand for a meaningful reason. Like, I'm looking at your hand because I need to select a card to take from it. Yeah, sure. Trigger. And don't cantrip, yep. Are you bolting my thing? Bolting my thing would be unfortunate for me. Not blocking here. I think I'd like to draw a card with this. It's the next event I'm playing in. Not sure if they get up off their butts and fix Standard. I might play the Invitational at the end of June. The end of this month. It's June already, isn't it? I might play the Invitational in Roanoke if they fix the format. The old classic hoping I chump block so you missed a point of damage. These Lingering Souls now block for forever. I have so many 3-mana spells in my hand, I'm just playing into a daze here. It's fine. They're forcing my Lingering Souls. Holy crap. Price? What is going on here? Oh, that's why they're doing it. They have a Bedlam Reveler. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Everything makes sense now. Everything suddenly makes sense. They play one of these in their board, it's pretty common. I'm pretty sure we just have to Deluge for 5 next turn. It has to be 5 because we can get dazed here. Yeah, I think I'm just supposed to Deluge for 5. And we're dead to a force. Okay. Alrighty. Dead to Bolt, dead to Bolt, Price, dead to a lot. Is what it is. Nothing is standard in Legacy. Legacy is not a format that has enough play that the decks are established enough for anything to be considered standard in them. Just for reference. I hate when people do it. Like even decks like Ant and Grixis Delver don't have standardized things. Am I dead? Yep, almost certainly. They have Cryptic Serpents too, I guess. Was that a good draw? If so, why? Please explain. God, we just have to fade for one more turn here. Let me get Jitte, so that way we can start getting life next turn. I'm gonna attack for 1 because it might be relevant. Anyone that thinks a shock for 1 Phyrexian red is okay is out of their mind. Just for reference. Just so we're above the board where I stand on what's going on in my chat right now. You're out of your mind. Ah, good games, opponent. Good games, opponent. Oh. Didn't really have any choices there. It's like play our card, hope it's good enough. If we had lines to play around things, sure, but otherwise we're just like losing a spirit token every single turn. And like I said, that matchup's bad, and like, if they hadn't had a smash, so we needed them to have a couple of bricks, right? The Bedlam Reveler gassed them back up. We were fortunate that they didn't have a second force for the Toxic Deluge, but the Toxic Deluge also put our life total fairly low. The old 1-1-0-2 pair down. Man. Magic streams are the best. I'm gonna mulligan here. Hand doesn't do much. I'd say it's fine. It's a little bit worse against an unfair deck, but it's got a Thoughtseize in it at least. We are on the play, right? Yeah, so we can top that because we're gonna fetch it away. This land cycles down the line, which is nice. Yeah, they waited 10 minutes for that. It's kind of cute, right? Like, they took 10 minutes out of their life or, like, went and did something for 10 minutes and remembered to come back. And I just got rid of it in 30 seconds, and it just didn't matter. Am I just taking Stoneforge Mystic here? Almost certainly, right? It's like their card that generates card advantage. Like, even if I plow it, they're going to get something useful out of it. Yes, I'm taking a plow at this point. There is a kids show playing on the TV in the background that involves animals. And there are young children in the room. Alright, Stoneforge Mystic, sign me up. Are you thinking about forcing this? That'd be great for me. You get sort of Feasted Famine. It's really good in these control matchups. Gonna make my opponent have to burn a removal spell on the Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, we need more. Oh, we're all out of Gatorade. That, so they have a click in their hand. They could have potentially just like clicked the sword out of my hand, right? No, we have moderators in this stream, and you have to follow for 10 minutes. The rule on links is act like an adult and you'll be treated like an adult, act like a child and you'll be treated like a child. I mean, breathing is generally bad for you, too. It gives you cancer, so, like, whatever. So long, sort of feast and famine, my old friend. Nope, alright. Plow that, pass the turn. Actually, I'm just gonna put the sword into play, right? That seems better. On the off chance there's a back to basics, I'm gonna fetch a basic land. You think it's necessary playing 7 slots versus graveyard like I'm doing at the moment with this deck? So the surgical extractions aren't just for the graveyard decks. The surgical extractions are good against like Storm and Sneak and Show and a variety of different things. I think surgical is just like one of the best magic cards you can play in. It's just one of the best magic cards you can be playing in a sideboard in Legacy in general. Rest in Peace is kind of dedicated graveyard hate, so like, yeah, I think the 2 slots to Rest in Peace are worth it, but... When I give the Gatorade to the kids too, we also generally cut it with 50% water. Because of the sugar content. Alright, Am I just playing this and taking it up? I think I'm willing to lose my Batterskull here. Yeah, I have a sword in play. We could get Veilpiercer too. Whoa, we're getting forced. That's good for us. Pitching Snapcaster Mage. Deal. I don't want to discard this card. Sweet. Brainstorm resolves. Looking for another plow here, maybe a Snapcaster. They just binned one Snapcaster. If we get to hit them with this germ with the Sword of Feast, the game's mostly going to be done. Hopefully we draw like a Stoneforge or a Dark Confidant or something here. Tidehollow Sculler even, just like another play. Thoughtseize is decent. Lead on that shit. So now if they have an answer to this, they gotta play it out preemptively. Sure. Ponder, Force, Brainstorm, Batterskull. I'm gonna take their Ponder. They're hoping to force our Batterskull on the way back down. God, Thoughtseize is such a tilting magic card. It's like, literally draw the best card in your deck. It's a shame we don't have a Dryad Arbor in this configuration. Because if this Verdant Catacombs could attack, we'd be in a great spot. Yep. Now, I guess I should save that to shuffle when they put a card on top with Jace. So I'm just going to go ahead and concede here. We could keep playing this game back and forth, but like it's a very, very, very low probability that we actually win this game. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the post-board games where we have better... And we have a little better matchup. Toxic Deluge gets to come out. Gaddock Teeg is reasonable. It's kind of awkward. I'm not 100% sure how I want to board this. Maybe Teeg isn't good enough against this build that likely doesn't have Terminus in it. You can see that. Gideon in the Trials has been particularly great. Opponent's just playing Esper Stoneblade. It's an Esper deck based around Stoneforge Mystic. We trim one plow. That seems fine. We've not seen Green Mana or Deathrite Shaman out of our opponent. It's not unreasonable that they could be playing them, but we haven't seen either of those things yet. Kaya and Gideon Ally of Zendikar are two of our best tools for grinding our opponent out in the long run, especially when they have Jace on their side of the table. Like, our 4-mana Planeswalkers are good at keeping up with their 4-mana Planeswalker. We are white-black besides for Teeg. Yep, we've got a Bayou, a Horizon Canopy for these Teegs on the board. And Teeg is primarily there for the Miracles deck and then Storm and Elves. I do not do any form of sporting type stuff. Right. Keep. Yep. So the awkward thing about this hand is that it's got 2 of our 4 equipment in it, which kind of sucks, but keepable 7, like 2 lands, discard total, discard spell. How would you modify this? This deck is unplayable in Modern, don't try. The reason why this deck is good is because Dark Confidant is better in a format where, what's the word I'm looking for? Dark Confidant is better in a format where, you don't have shock lands pressuring your life total, and you also don't have, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, shock lands and opponents are attacking us less. This might elicit a brainstorm in response. Howdy, King Feed. Deathrite Shaman doesn't solve any problems that this deck has. When you're deck building while playing Magic and you're taking an existing deck that already does something and is successful, when you're making a change to the deck, you want to ask yourself the question, what is this change looking to do? What problem am I looking to fix with the deck that it currently has? And when I asked myself that question about Deathrite Shaman, the answer is it doesn't fix any of the problems that we currently have. So like, why am I bothering to play it? Dark Confidant is also better with Stoneforge Mystic too, and Stoneforge Mystic's like getting Umezawa's Jitte and Batterskull, so like it's buffering our life total also. I would love to put Stoneforge Mystic into Modern. That sounds wonderful. Okay. Alright, we're gonna plow this. We'll plow this and then play Feast and Famine. I think Jace would be fine in Modern. I think most decks in Modern are killing you before, long before. This feels kind of bad because I'm trading a Batterskull for a land, but I think it's fine. Ideally, I want to draw a land next turn so I can go land, play Sword of Feast and Famine, plus my Liliana again. There was a basic island. It kind of sucks that I took True Name and left them with Leovold, although they can't cast Leovold with that mana, which is nice. Are we playing a discard spell? They are playing Deathblade, okay. Like I said, it's not unreasonable. I guess we saw Leovold. Leovold definitely means it's Deathblade. Alright. Edict you. I'm going to play this. I know they have a Swords to Plowshares in their hand, so I want to wait on playing the Dark Confidant out. They have Snapcaster Mage here. I'm going to feel a little bit bad. They have 1 card we don't know about. Oh, no, we know all their cards, right? They have Plains, Plow, Batterskull. I think we know all their cards. I think. Liliana of their own. Okay, well, everyone's hands are about to be very empty. Hopefully we draw Lingering Souls. That would be great. Council's Judgment also decent. I guess they're deciding if they want to plus this, right? They're going to lose 2 out of 3 cards out of their hand if they plus this. They're going to lose both the cards in their hand if they plus this. They're going to lose Batterskull and Plow here. Deal. I guess there's ults before ours does. Please let me draw a castable spell. I guess that actually, that is technically what I asked for. Sword of Feast and Famine is an equipment that allows you to pressure control decks while also, might as well use that mode. Drain you. 3 Council's Judgments to draw 2 in 2 turns for this Liliana available. And they're going to get to alt this and mess up our board. Opponent chose to shuffle. It's good for us. I just feel like our deck has a lot of good answers to True Name Nemesis, so I don't need my sword to be an answer to True Name Nemesis, like sort of Fire and Ice is most of the time. Council's Judgment. Well, that's unfortunate. Probably dead here. They're gonna ult the Liliana and then play a spell out of their hand. Probably keep 1 land plus our cards. They draw Council Judgment of their own. Vindicate. That seems way worse than Council Judgment. Alright, we got another shot at Council Judgment here to stay in this game. We're going to concede if we miss. Good game's opponent. And again, like, the game's not over right now, but it's effectively over. Like, the game is done, but it's not over. Like, that's the best way to look at that. So, at 1-1, and for the record, that matchup that we just played probably wasn't very good for us, but our opponent was also 0-2, so, like, the way you beat those decks is just, like, dodging them in the first round, and then they're not particularly great, so. I'm gonna bottom that. I don't think we really need that effect right now. I'm gonna lead on this Verdant Catacombs here. Now we're both 1-2, so we've got an even pairing at least. Yeah, I'm starting Kaya in the board now. She's not great against the fast combo or Delver decks, which is what this configuration is set up hedged to beat game 1. Immediately regret all of our life decisions that have led up until this point because Collective Brutality would be good against the Storm deck. Maybe I'm supposed to top the Brutality there. Yeah, that was a mistake. I should have topped the Brutality there, and then in the event they're playing a deck where I don't want that effect, I could shuffle it away. So yeah, 10 out of 10 messed up that scry. We're going to go ahead and crack this fetch and put Scrubland into play so we can shuffle that Collective Brutality back into our deck to have a chance to draw it next turn. No! Oh, jeez! Oh, jeez! Oh, did I misclick? Did I misclick? I did misclick. Alright. That was, you know, them's the beats. Alright, not punished at least. God bless. Hey, TJ. Let's play this and get a Batterskull like it matters. It's not a punt. It didn't hurt us. Maybe I'll get Feast and Famine actually. Let's get Feast and Famine. Technically pressure their hand. Like in a world where we don't die next turn and we like to get to go Liliana, like maybe we pressure them. Batterskull's better against goblins. They both suck against Cabal Therapy. Non-zero chance we die here. Usually Storm is pretty consistent to kill you on turn 2. Stop grabbing the cords. Stop it. Bad demon child. Out you go. Bye. Storm usually kills you on turn 2 if you don't interact with them. Magic Online doesn't run on superior operating systems, so I'm streaming from a Linux computer with Magic Online running in a Windows 7 virtual machine, and some oddity with VirtualBox and OBS, how it captures is, it's not great. Alright, I mean, well, we're losing our other Liliana, but we're not dead yet, so we got that going for us. Discard spell. Discard spell! Ding. Literally the best draw on the deck. Discard spell. What do you got here? What do you got here? Brainstorm, Dark Ritual, Petal Ponder. Probably just the LED. Pass the turn here. We'll put this Feast and Famine at end step, and then hopefully start grinding them out. Not impossible for us to die here. Not impossible for us to die. Cracking the fetch before they ponder is interesting, especially since they have a brainstorm in their hand. They need to find, like, tutor LEDs here. Shuffle. Shuffle the ponder. 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 Chose to shuffle. That's a good sign for us. Alright, don't kill us with this brainstorm. Don't kill us with this brainstorm. They just put the sword into play so I can F6. I don't actually have enough storm experience, so like maybe you're supposed to fetch before you ponder there, but seems suspect. Seems suspect. Like leaving the fetch there means you can ponder and then draw only one card off the ponder if the other ones are bad. Oh, Cabal Therapy. Yep, that's fine. Alright, so long, Umezawa's Jitte. I hardly knew you. Put this one into play. That's going to chew your hand up. So they have Petal, Dark Ritual, X in their hand right now. I suppose they brainstorm, so they might not have these specific cards in hand. I'm going to leave this land in my hand on the off chance my opponent has another discard spell and they want to play into it. Alright, this is it. Every turn you're discarding a card. You didn't shuffle from your brainstorm either, so... So long, Dark Ritual. Like, if this was a Fire and Ice, we'd be killing my opponent faster and I'd be drawing cards, but I think disrupting them with the Feast and Famine is actually better here. They got sweet art Dark Rituals, too. Opponent's got stellar choice of artwork. They've obviously put some thought into this. Because, like, getting a random card out of my deck is definitely worse than just, like, taking the best card or the worst card out of their hand. Like, Storm is a critical mass style deck. Hoping to draw, like, Gideon of the Trials here, or Collective Brutality, or Thoughtseize, Tidehollow Sculler. Things that can, like, help us disrupt the opponent further while we beat them down with our Stoneforge Mystic wearing this Feast and Famine. Chose not to shuffle. That's bad for us. Okay, I mean, we're going to take another card out of their hand. That's an excellent draw. I'm going to Collective Brutality first, just in case they only have one instant or sorcery and they want to discard it. So this. Gideon's great. He's very good in the Storm matchup, and he's reasonable against the other fair decks in the 4-bet. Alrighty. So probably see them bin the Past in Flames, and then actually, if they have an LED on top of their deck, we're probably dead next turn. Oh, they don't have a tutor, do they? So LED is the card we're looking to dodge here. And they didn't shuffle, so like there's a pretty good chance there's an LED on top of their deck. LED's also good, or a land, because it just lets them play out their two cards, which means the Stoneforge Mystic is no longer grinding away at their hand. It's pretty broken, I think. It would make Delver-style decks just more obnoxious than they are. Alright, yep. Yep. I guess that's one of their better cards. Not having the Jitte actually means we weren't able to close out this game very quickly, so... is what it is what it is. If they don't go for it this turn, we have 2 copies of Council's Judgment we can draw that are reasonable, and a copy of Gideon that's also decent. Not going for it yet. I mean, they pondered and didn't shuffle, right? So, like, they knew that was there. I assume we're dead here. They have a tutor on top. We're certainly dead. They have another LED or a ritual. We're in a pretty bad shape as well. Named Swords to Plowshares. I guess that's a card we could have theoretically kept. Gideon! Gideon! Alright, and they're going to be forced to just go for it here soon. They're like going to go off with Past in Flames and generate some mana, and then try and cantrip into the tutor off these Ponders and Brainstorms. They have a couple of blue mana here. Oh, man. You know what I didn't think about? I didn't stop to count. If I would have drained them with the Collective Brutality, discarding the Verdant Catacombs, they'd be dead next turn. And I'd be up life, which makes storming me out a little bit harder, because they're going to be kind of pressed when they try to combo. Yeah, I should have escalated the Collective Brutality, binning this Verdant Catacombs. Past in Flame Flashback is 5. Other Brutality or Gideon. Other Brutality or Gideon. Yep. They drew Tendrils, sure. Alright, that's a land. So I'm going to auto-pass because they're going to go for it here. Because they're dead on board, so they have to go for it. So, yep, if I would have escalated this Collective Brutality, discarding this land that we ended up not needing, we'd have been okay. Oh, they hit the Tendrils. So they just get to go cast a bunch of spells and then cast the Tendrils here. Okay. Are we dead? We're probably dead. I feel like they shouldn't have tapped these islands like they did. That's probably a mistake. I don't know. Maybe they just have enough anyways with the discard spells. I'm gonna go change a diaper really quick while our opponent kills us. I'll be right back. All right. So, another thing to think about too here is we talked about, I think escalating the Collective Brutality is probably objectively right. The only thing that punished us for escalating the Collective Brutality was if we drew exactly Gideon of the Trials, because it was our second white source that game. That being said, I think we were supposed to do that, but there's no guarantee if we escalate there, we actually win the game because of it. Because there's a non-zero chance my opponent just, like, tries to go off sooner and then ends up killing us anyways. It was still correct to escalate it, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee us a game win there if we had. Non-blue champion. Actually, if there were champions in Legacy, Legacy would be much better for these fair mid-range decks like what I'm playing, right? Because, like, my opponent, I'd queue into a match, and I'd see my opponent's playing the Storm champion, and be like, alright, I get to mulligan my hand that's normally an auto loss here. Poor people leaving me comments asking why we don't play Kiki Chord anymore. For those of you that are wondering, if you followed my content for a while, Kiki Chord is unplayable in Modern. The fair mid-range decks in Modern are largely awful. They need to have some kind of unfair element to them. We have to bring in a bunch of our permanent base disruption here. Our Teegs, our Thalias, our Rest in Pieces, Surgical Extractions, and Grafdigger's Cages, so hopefully we can go to work here post-board. I would love if they put Pod and Bloodbraid Elf and Stoneforge Mystic and Jason to Modern. That sounds great. I mean, Kiki Chord is literally the only Magic cards I own. If it makes you feel better. I rent everything else from Spare Deck. Nope, that's a completely different deck, Brickhouse. Kiki Chord was good because it was a fair, interactive mid-range deck that sometimes comboed, and, like, that's just not a good Axes. It's great, right? Like, discard spell into Thalia. Sign me up. Yeah, sure, Twin can be unbanned too. I don't care. I think unbanning a bunch of 4-mana cards can't possibly make Modern any more degenerate than it already is, right? Like, it's pretty degenerate. This hand doesn't really do anything, right? Do I just, like, take their probe here? That's gotta be wrong, right? Is taking their mana right since they have an Ad Nauseam in hand? Do I just, like, take the Tutor this turn and then Thalia next turn and then take the Ad Nauseam after that? I can see an argument being made for taking any of these 3 cards here. Tutor has upside if we draw a Surgical Extraction. I think Giftstorm is one of the fine, linear, non-interactive decks that's hoping to just ignore what its opponent has going on in Modern. The decks that are hoping to ignore what their opponent is doing in Modern are the best decks to be playing in Modern. Ideally, they'll have some amount of play to them, but if you can Goldfish a turn 4 kill, you're probably fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the Ritual here. You need to get out? Okay, here you go. The next ban and restricted announcement is next weekend, just after GP Vegas, I believe. Or during GP Vegas, one of the two. Doesn't probe me. Please don't probe me. Yeah, that makes this Thalia way better. I think the Titan deck is great. I think the Counter Company deck is also great. Are we brainstorming in response to this? Seems fine for me. If someone wants to send me $1,000, I will show up to Vegas. That's the reason why. The amount of enjoyment I will get out of going to a Grand Prix is not worth $1,000 to me. Like, for $1,000, I could, I don't know, build a new computer or take my wife out on a, you know, half a dozen nice dates. Like, it's not worth $1,000 to me. Grand Prix are expensive. They're a giant cash sink. Played a fetch land we didn't know about. It's unfortunate that Thalia says I can't do both of these things this turn. I think I'm supposed to Thoughtseize this turn. This might be a little bit conservative. Maybe I'm supposed to just play the Dark Confidant. I said nice dates, you know? Like nice restaurants, fancy, all that jazz. Another brainstorm, sure. Burning brainstorms without shuffles afterwards seems great for me. Like $1,000, we could like take a weekend trip somewhere for half of that. It's a shame we don't have a surgical extraction to shuffle away whatever their brainstorm hiding. What you got, opponent? What you got, what you got, what you got? Has the Past in Flames, has another Cabal ritual. They hid some other stuff here. I feel like I'm supposed to take the mana out of their hand. Thalia's making them short on mana, so that's what we want to be attacking. It's probably going to be a cast Lotus Petal, cast Cataxian Probe turn. No, the Invitational I didn't have to pay $200 to play in. So, like, if I wanted to play 2 Grand Prix in Vegas, I'd have to pay $200 for the privilege of doing so. That's a good one to have hidden. Probably dead here. Hopefully we can draw another hate card. Correct. Yeah, you can't look and see what they had, which is, you know, one of those Moto things. Disruption! Disruption! Not another land! Alright, that qualifies. Then they have the rest of the Past in Flames in their hands. That makes that much worse. I don't believe Spare Deck ever has plans to expand into Legacy cards. Like I said, you can rent the non-Legacy cards from them. Like I got Dark Confidants and Stoneforge Mystics and Fetch Lands and Rest in Pieces. Like, I had to, what did I end up finding? I ended up finding Scrublands and Wastelands to play this deck, I believe. It's a Pyroclasm you could pitch to Force, right? It's much better. This must be... LSV must have put this in the game because in Eternal, the same color that has Divination also has Pyroclasm, their blue color. Alright, if they can't answer this Bob and they can't kill us through this Rest in Peace, we're gonna get, hopefully, a steady stream of disruption here. Oh, geez, are we dead? Did this Brainstorm kill us? This Brainstorm could have killed us, no joke. We're only at 15 here. They could just, like, have another Clasm to, like, bounce the Confidant. They almost certainly don't have Past in Flames in their hand anymore. Are we casting Ad Nauseam here with 12 life? That's risky. There's a Past in Flames and combos in your deck. And like, did they play their land yet for the turn? This must be Ad Nauseam, right? Wait, what? Oh, it entered the Exile Zone. They don't have to show me what they got, right? They could be going empty here. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Alright, so I need a Stoneforge or a Batterskull now. I mean, you don't actually know that Eternal is balanced because, like, there's no competitive tournaments in Eternal to, like, encourage people to actually, like, brew and be competitive in the game. Like, it's entirely a casual game. Like, the actual ranked play isn't even best of 3, so, like, you can't have real matchups against things without hoping for a lot of variance. The decks are 75 cards, so they have even more variance than Magic does. No, they brainstormed Immortal, so good quality 1/3 drop. Womp womp. I'm gonna play a couple matches of Hex to close out the stream. For those of you that aren't familiar, Hex is a fully digital TCG. It's similar